I started in high school, and the Lord has given us all talents, and my talent, it seems to be, has been pottery. I knew from the very beginning that this is what I wanted to do, because I was very excited about it, and always am, and still am. It's still very exciting to open the kiln, and every time, every opening is different. People ask, how do the crystals grow? Basically, we reproduce atmospheric conditions as in nature for crystals to grow. High zinc concentration in the glaze to 2400 degrees. The glaze runs off into the tray, it pools. Then we quick cool to 2000 degrees. The nucleus forms in the crystal. The atoms swimming around freely start to gather in a chain-like effect, slowly for 4 hours, expand and grow. Then we drop the temperature quickly to 1850, and the outer first ring will start to grow. Change the temperature back up, we get a different hue of color, back down, back up, you get constant changes, just like the grow rings in a tree. In 24-hour period, voila, you have crystalline pottery. When this is all done, you take a torch to the bottom of the piece where there's a little ring that's glued on there. You heat that up, it expands and cracks off. Sometimes you crack the pot, but that's the chances you take. Chris Friedrich has given me all his knowledge, years and years and thousands of test firings on accomplishing these crystal growth. I supply a nice canvas, the pot itself, a nice graceful shape, classic shapes, traditional shapes. You want to leave the shape basically simple so the crystals can grow and stand out and show. You don't want to make sharp edges, and you want to let the crystals do their thing. It started in the 9th century China, accidentally finding microcrystals, and then at the turn of the century, as clay came to Europe and the United States, more experimenting came in. From 1890s to 1930s, it was a popular thing, crystalline pottery. And then with the advent of the industrialization of pottery, since you can't control completely anything that comes out in a pot, you couldn't take an order on it. So in 1930, industrialization after the Art Nouveau period, it disappeared until the electrical kilns came in that are programmable, so that time-wise it was efficient to actually do this process. Made it easier, and people have been picking it up. There's 50 to 100 in the world that are probably successful at it. It was the art of kings in the turn of the century. It's very expensive. Everything about it's expensive and time-consuming. Every other firing, you can have no results. You can have atmospheric problems, you can have glaze. You may have not put the proper portions in and no crystals will grow. There's so many things that can happen that this is a fluke to have a piece like this. This doesn't happen every time. This piece has 2 different glazes on it, which is fired, and then taken out of the kiln and put in another kiln and post-reduced, it's called, taking it up to 800 centigrade, slowly down to 600. And all the carbon molecules start to attack all the colorants, and you get all the spectrum of color, and you can never get a pot exactly like this again. Growth will be different everywhere. The crystals, the nuclei will form in other places, and the atoms, it's all chance. No two are ever alike. That's why it's so difficult. It's why so few people do it. I've been doing this 30 years and haven't met many people that can still do a job for 30 years and still enjoy it and have excitement about getting up to do it. The greatest joy we have is all the hard work we put in, and then you open the kiln up and it's just oohs and ahs, and you just can't believe that things like this have happened. These crystals have grown the way they are. The colors and the change and the variety and the failures too, which motivates you to want to do it again, try harder and keep plugging away. Every kiln opening is just, you can't sleep at night. A lot of times you want to get out there and open up that kiln the next morning and see what's in there. And that keeps me going. It's very gratifying. The last 3 nights in a row I haven't been sleeping.